This is the question asked in today's skillrack daily challenge. So we are given a string as an input and we have to split the string for string length minus 1 times. So in the first iteration we will be splitting the string at the first index. So when the string is splitted at the first index, there will be one character in the left and all the remaining characters belongs to the right substring. And in the next iteration we have to split at the second index. So two characters will be in the left substring and all the remaining characters will be in the right substring. And then again in the next iteration we have to split at the third index. So three characters will be present in the left substring and all the remaining characters belong to the right substring. So this is how we would have splitted our string in every iteration. So now we have to find the total number of zeros present in the left substring and total number of 1 present in the right substring. So now let us calculate the number of zeros and ones. So in the first iteration the left substring has only 1 zero. So the zeros count in the left substring is 1, and then we have to count the number of ones in the right substring. So the right substring has 3 plus 3. So totally 6 1 are present in the right substring. So now we have to concatenate both of these values. So we have to concatenate 1 and 6. And when we concatenate 1 and 6, we should not multiply 1 with 10 and after that add 6. So we should directly concatenate both the integers 1 and 6. So when both the integers 1 and 6 are concatenated, the value we get is 16. So like this we should find the zeros count in the left substring and then ones count in the right substring, and then we should concatenate both of the values. So in the second iteration the number of zeros present in the left substring is 2. So we write 2 first, and after that the number of ones present in the right substring is 6. So we write 6, and now we should concatenate both these integers 2 and 6. So when 2 and 6 are concatenated, it becomes 26. So like this we should find the values in every iteration. So now I have found the concatenated values for all the iteration. Now what we have to do is, out of these 8 integers we have to find the maximum value. So the maximum integer out of all these 8 integers is 33. So the integer 33 is formed by this particular substrings. So what we have to do is, in our output we must print these two particular left and right substrings. So that would be our output. So in our output also we can see that we are printing these left and right substrings. So this is how we should be finding which substring we need to print. So now let us see how to write a C program for this. So first I am creating a function named zeros count, and this function accepts a character array in its arguments, and what this function does is it returns the number of zeros present in that character array str. So to do that, first I am creating a new integer variable count and setting its value to 0, and we have to iterate through the character array. So I am creating a loop that iterates from 0 till the string length of str, and in every iteration if the character is equal to 0, then we increment the value of the variable count. So whenever str of I is equal to 0, then we increment count, so count plus plus. So after the execution of the loop, the total number of zeros would be the value present in count. So finally the function returns the value count. So this is how we will be counting the zeros. Similarly, we are also counting the ones in the next function. So this function works similarly same. Instead of 0, in the if condition we include the character 1. So whenever the character is equal to 1, we increment the value of count, and after the execution of the for loop we return the value of count. So that would be the total number of 1 present in that character array str. So these are the two functions which we will be using in our program. So now let us start with our main function. So in our main function, first I am creating a new character array named str, and in the next line I am accepting the input string in a string format and storing it into the character array str, and then I am creating two integer variables named max and split index, and I am initially assigning -1 for them. So we will be using this variable to find the maximum integer value, and the split index will be used to find the index at which we should split our string. So now we have to split the given input string for string length -1 times. So I am creating a loop that iterates from 1 till string length of str, and here we start our loop from index 1 because the first split must be made at the first index. So that is why we are starting our loop from 1 and iterating till string length of str. So in every iteration we are going to form two new substrings. So the left substring and right substring. So I am creating two character arrays named left and right, each of size 101 characters. So first we are going to find the left substring. So to find the left substring, first we are going to copy our input string directly into the character array left. So first I am using the function string copy and I am copying the input string str itself into the character array left. And now the left substring will be the characters that is present till the index I. So I am setting left of I is equal to null. So all the characters that are present after I will be deleted and the characters from 0 till I will be stored in the character array left. So that would be our left substring. So now we have found our left substring and all the remaining characters would be the right substring. So the right substring would contain the characters from I. So when we use the value ampersand str of I, it would be considering all the characters present after the index I. So we are storing those characters into the character array named right. So in the first three lines we have found the left and right substring. Now we have to count the number of zeros present in the left substring and number of ones present in the right substring. So before counting we are going to create three another character arrays. So concatenated int, in which we will be storing the concatenated value of zeros count and ones count, and then another two character arrays named zeros and 1, in which we will be storing the character representation of the integer. Now our function returns an integer, but we need to store in a character array. So to do this we are going to make use of this function sprintf. So the function sprintf can convert an integer into a character array. So in the sprintf function, first in the arguments, first we are passing the name of the character array. So the name of the character array is 0 and we have to convert an integer into a character array. So within the double quotes we are giving the specifier %d because integer is denoted by %d. The next argument is the source. So the source will be from a function. So we are going to convert the integer that is returned by the function zeros count. So we have to count the zeros present in the left substring. So I am calling the function zeros count. So we have already seen how this function works. So we are passing the character array left. So this function returns the total number of zeros present in the left substring. That returned integer will be converted into a character array and stored into the character array named zeros. So this is what we are doing in this sprintf function. So now we have found the zeros. We have to do the same for ones. So again we are going to make use of this function sprintf, and here the character array name is ones and then the specifier is %d, and then here the source is the function ones count. So we have to count the number of ones present in the right substring. So again the integer returned by the function ones count is converted into a character array and stored into the character array named ones. So now we have to concatenate both of these character arrays zeros and ones. So we are going to concatenate the character arrays zeros and ones and store the concatenated character array into the character array named concatenated int, which we have defined here. So to do that, first we are going to copy the character array zeros into the character array concatenated int. So here we use string copy function because we cannot concatenate a character array into a empty character array. So that is why first we fill the empty character array with zeros. So now the concatenated int contains the character array zeros, and now we have to concatenate the 1 to it. So we are making use of this function strcat. So this function concatenates ones to it. So now the zeros and ones will be concatenated and stored into the character array named concatenated int. So now the concatenated character array should be converted into an integer and we have to find the maximum value. So to convert the character array into an integer, we will make use of the function attoy. So this function can convert a character array into an integer. So in every iteration we will be able to form a particular value. So we have to find the maximum value out of all possible iteration. So initially we have set max is equal to -1. So in every iteration we will be checking whether the array of concatenated int is greater than max or not, and if this condition is satisfied, then we set max is equal to array of concatenated int, that is we will store the integer value of the character array. So when we do this in every iteration, after the execution of the for loop, we will be able to find the maximum value, and we will also be updating our split index. So we will store split index is equal to I. So after the execution of this loop, we know the split index at which we should split in order to obtain the maximum value. So again I am creating a for loop to print our output. So in our output we must print all the characters, and whenever I is equal to split index, we print a empty space and we print the characters present in the character array str as such. So we will get our desired output. Now let us check our program with sample test cases. So I have given the sample input 1 and we have our expected output here. So we also print the same output. So now let us check our program with the sample input 2. So for sample input 2 also we get the correct output. So this is the logic behind today's daily challenge. Thank you for watching.